Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, Matt with Green Bar Trading. Holy cow. What a day. What a day. This was a mess of a day, to say the least. Trying to get this piece of fuzz off me. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to navigate you all through what we are seeing at the moment. And the way that I'm going to do that is through technical analysis, because I don't think there's any way that you guys can, try to put a finger on where the bottom might be, where are we headed. I think all of that is going to be very difficult to find out without using some indicators and using some patterns and some things that happened in the past that can maybe give us a guide on where the futures are going. By futures, I don't mean the actual futures. I mean the stock market and, where we can possibly see a bounce. Unfortunately, that's very tough to figure out. You guys can see here, we're down a tremendous amount. We are actually down the most amount, and I have to pull this back to see the last time that the RSI on the daily chart hit this level of 30. We have not seen this level hit on the RSI since March of 2020. That's how bad of a pullback we're seeing on the SPY intraday, which means a one-day pullback. And if we look here, I just want to see where we gapped down from. We're almost down. We were down 10 points at the worst. So we're bouncing off of that level at around 430. 430, we opened up the day around 440-ish. So yeah, that's 442 we opened the day, or 441, whatever it was. You get the point. We're down a tremendous amount. What we did make very clear, and it's not just me, it's everyone else, when this 50 broke, the 50 moving average. Now, you might be getting sick and tired of hearing about this, but something that has happened, and I'm just going to look at this past year. For the past year, since 2021, since the ball dropped in New York City, we have bounced off of the 50. The only time that we went under the 50 with a close, the next day, we bounced back over the 50 moving average on the SPY. Today, that is not happening. And we said, if the 50 breaks and doesn't rebid, we are headed for a correction, and that's what's happening right here. Now, this is even surprising me with how much we're pulling back now. As I'm making this video, I mean, we're almost down 9.5 points now. It just keeps coming down. And the RSI, take a look at, it's off the charts right now. It's literally off the charts at 31. I have to pull it up this high just to see where we're at on the RSI. Very, very oversold conditions right now. And like I said, we have to go back. Even these previous corrections here, which was 36 and 35. The previous corrections that happened a year ago today, I'm just gonna pull this back, make this a little bigger, just so we could get some context on what we're looking at. The RSI on these pullbacks with a one-day pullback it never went to where it's at now, which really, really is scary, in that we might be on the verge of one of those corrections that are in the 10%, 15% range, which is a tremendous amount. What we saw here back in September. So September is a notoriously weak month. You may have also been hearing that. September and October, which is right here, is historically, going back decades, a very weak month to be long the stock market. So we saw here 1 year ago, and this purple line, this indicates, because I just wanted to see how much of a percentage, we dropped 12% on the SPY in September. So 12%. Where does 12% bring us if we see the same amount of correction on the SPY? Where does 12% bring us? So let's go to the 200-day moving average, and we're going to go up to previous highs. The 200-day is roughly 11%. So if we saw a bounce off something similar to what we saw in September, that would bring us all the way down to 409 on the SPY. That type of move down makes makes basically every stock look dirt cheap. Now, while a correction is totally normal, there's nothing unusual about getting a correction. That is when you can really go and get some really good deals for the continuation of the bull market. I don't think that this bull market is over. I think it's far from over, and I will be a buyer at the bottom. So wherever I think the market is going to be, basing out, which I'm going to put around this area, I would be comfortable going long right around here. So anywhere in this area, I know I'm making a big circle, but I'm not trying to make that big of a circle. I want to wait, because a lot of times you'll get a pullback and then you'll see a bounce and then you'll see another pullback. So I want to wait. I want to wait until all the weak hands are shaken out of this. And something else that's going to happen today is something very something very tough for a lot of people to go through. It's a margin call. I've been lucky enough to never get one because I don't trade on margin. I don't trade with leverage. Any positions I take for long-term portfolios are always covered with the amount of cash I have. I don't take extra shares. So I don't borrow money from my broker to make bigger positions than I have the cash to cover. So a lot of times if somebody's trading on leverage, they're buying, let's say they can afford to buy $25,000 worth of stock. Well, a lot of brokerages, they'll give you like 4 times leverage, 4 to 6 times the amount. So that 25,000, you can actually spend over $100,000 to buy really big positions. The stock market is set up for, bigger buying than is really necessary. You don't get that when you short. You can't really do that. But when you want to go long, they let you borrow a ton of money and, buy positions that you don't even have the money to cover. So what happens is on days like this, where you see a huge pullback, some people their accounts are totally wiped out now because they have 4 times the amount in a stock or stocks in general, right? So when you see such a big pullback, a lot of stocks are down, obviously a tremendous amount today. You will get a margin call from your broker saying your account is now negative. So it was at 25,000, you were at 125,000 in margin. Your account, not only did you lose $25,000, you are now on the hook for everything under zero. So a lot of people will get a margin call and say, if you can't put in more money, if you can't add to your account by the end of the business day, we are going to be forced to liquidate your account. We're going to sell whatever you have in positions just so we can assure that we are able to get some money back. And then you'll be on the hook to pay them back. Collections. They'll call you for the rest of your life, basically, and say, you still owe us money. So yeah, a lot of people are going to get those margin calls. And if that happens, you're going to see even more selling. So if there's a lot of margin calls today or tomorrow, you can see even bigger red days, for the future coming up. And, as I'm making this video, the market has continued to go down. Now it's 2 o'clock my time. I realize that by the time this uploads that anything can happen, but things don't look very good right now. So I would wait, if I was you, wait until something starts to form, because there is a lot of cash on the sidelines and there's a lot of people that want to get in at lower prices. So I do think eventually this will bounce back up. There is no doubt in my mind. It's just a matter of when. So I hope that you guys, learned something from this video. And if you have any questions for me, we have a Discord. Our Discord is a great group. Go in there, join, and there's, you can always ask me questions in there. I have a separate channel, for, any questions you may have for me, and I get right back to you, no problem. You could even leave any questions in the comments section down below. I answer every single comment. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. So that's it. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Take care.